Hey guys, I am Wizarding World YouTuber Victoria Maclean and welcome to... Is it episode 5 of Victoria's Vintage today? So I'm pretty sure it's episode 5 of Victoria's Vintage, and today is all about snow globes. So if you'd like to see what okay and broken snow globes I have to show you today, then keep on watching. If you would like me to bring some broken stuff to you, then make sure that you subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit the all important notification bell as well. Let's get started. So today I am using a wand I don't think I've used in my videos before, but I've had this for quite a few years now. It is Fenrir Greybacks, who is one of my favourite villains in the Wizarding World. Now the reason being is because the look that Rob Bliss gave him as a concept art for Fenrir Greyback was so horrific that he just looked so cool. And he is immensely scary. He is somebody in the stories, now don't get me wrong, you know, I hate the whole child torture and stuff, but he's somebody who, in the Harry Potter stories, kept himself in a permanent state between a werewolf and a human. And stayed at that state. So he was kind of like in between a werewolf and a human, and he kept his look like that. And he used to prey on the young, the very young. Remus Lupin was a classic example. Wasn't Remus Lupin 4 when he was scrammed by Fenrir? Obviously becoming a werewolf. He liked them young and he liked turning them young. There's a few dialogues in some of the books with Fenrir Greyback between Fenrir and Dumbledore, and it's quite horrific. But the picture that Rob Bliss kind of gave for him as a concept art, they had it in the Warner Bros. Studios. It's in some of the movie magic books, but he was such a kind of incredible looking scary character that he actually frightened me more than Voldemort did, even though Voldemort really scared me when I used to read the books. But Fenrir always scared me. He was like the boogeyman, you know. It was kind of like the kind of thing that you were scared of in your closet when you were a kid, or under your bed. He was that kind of thing. And so I think J.K. Rowling did a brilliant job of kind of expressing and kind of describing his character. So surprisingly, he wasn't actually a Death Eater. He was allowed to have all the Death Eater kind of perks, if you like, as long as he did his duty. And part of his duty was obviously to just attack. But it's really kind of, it's quite creepy, isn't it? But the guy who played him, David something, I can't remember his name. He was absolutely wonderful. According to Daniel Radcliffe, he was one of the nicest guys you could ever meet in your life, even with the makeup on. And he died in Death Valley under mysterious circumstances, which is very kind of odd, isn't it? But this is his wand, and it's incredibly plain for somebody so creepy. But I suppose Fenrir would have thought, well, I don't need a magnificent wand like Voldemort did, because he was creepy all on his own and maintained that look of werewolf and human combined. So his wand is quite it's very long, it's very plain, but I really like this wand. I really like it, but I think it's probably because it is Fenrir Greybacks. But as I always say, I'm going to put it back before I break it. Now time for one of your favourite parts today in the Wizarding World. 11th of May. 3 times a week they went out to the greenhouses behind the castle to study herbology with a dumpy little witch called Professor Sprout. There they learnt how to take care of all the strange plants and fungi and found out what they were used for. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, Chapter 8. The Potions Master. Now what I love is that the Warner Bros. Studio Tour in London are currently doing stuff with the greenhouses and mandrakes for people to go and visit. So that will be open soon, hopefully around July time. I cannot wait to go. It's going to be amazing. They're also building, because it's already on the website announced, they're building the fountain from the courtyard in Hogwarts. They are building obviously the greenhouse, a greenhouse. They are also building a smaller colour version of the Burrow. Love it, love it, can't wait to see it all. So as I said, today is all about snow globes. Now, I have been researching in my books and online, and I've actually got all my sticky notes ready to look at certain parts. Now, I was actually very disappointed today because I went into my cabinet, because these are kept away from the sunlight. However, they are kept in my glass cabinets. Lights are very rarely turned on in there, but they are in my glass cabinets, and I pulled them out and they were fine. And I went to shake one of them and it leaked, and I was like, this is 22 years old and it's leaking, what on earth? And then I went to shake another one because, you know, snow globes, and this again is 22 years old, and the inside fell apart. So luckily I do have still got 2 perfect snow globes to show you, as well as the broken ones, but I am going to talk to you about them. So the first companies to produce Harry Potter snow globes was Hallmark, but as well as the Wizarding World, as well as Warner Brothers as well. So Hallmark came up with 6 snow globes, and they were Chess Game, Devil's Snare, Potion Riddle, Mirror of Erised, Fluffy, and Wing Keys. Now, what amazes me, as 10 years ago I would have looked at these and I would have seen the prices, and I probably would have got them if there wasn't so many of them, because back then that would have been a bit difficult for me. But they are still today only valued between £20 and £40. So I'm really shocked. I don't have any of those, but I do have pictures to show you. And then Warner Brothers created one back in 2000, and there is actually no name for it. So first of all, I'm going to show you the wonderful ones by Hallmark that were created 22 years ago. It's mad. So I've got my little kind of, you know, my little sticky notes to show. So we've got the first one, which is Chess Game, if you can see there. And now today is between £20 and £40 value, and they are actually available. There isn't many of the full set available, sadly, but there's one in here that I will show you. There's loads of them on eBay. So if you did want to get into collecting snow globes, they're only about that big. I don't think they're that big. But if you wanted to get into collecting snow globes, then they're not that bad a price. The pre-film ones are not bad price at all. So then we have this one. They're all around the Philosopher's Stone task. So you've got Devil's Snare there. I say the tasks. There is actually another one that isn't around the tasks, I don't think. Then we have, oh yeah, there's this one, which I suppose is the task. You've got the Mirror of Erised there. Again, between £20 and £40 value, released by Hallmark in 2000, back in 2000. Then we have, let's get rid of that sticky note. Then we have Potions Riddle, which was Snape's task there, as you can see, with Hermione and a couple of potion bottles. Again, 22 years ago, and it's still valued between £20 and £40 today. Then the last 2, you've got Winged Keys just here in this book. Now, for those of you who don't know, I'm looking in this book here, the Harry Potter Collectibles, and we are referring to the Hallmark section. And then this one down here, Fluffy, is one that I see on eBay quite a lot. There are quite a few available, and they are between £20 and £30 on eBay. I can't tell you what the boxes were like, unfortunately, but I can tell you that they're not going for very much at the moment. Now, not only those beautiful items released by Hallmark, but there was this stunning snow globe released by Warner Brothers, which is this one here. Now, this is valued for between £30 and £40. It is meant to come boxed. The box is meant to be purple, and it was released in 2000, but it's very beautiful. However, if you guys have one of these, be very careful, because I've seen a couple on eBay like this, and mine has just done it. So I'm very sad to show you that the actual inside, the ceramic on the inside has actually come off its base. So there is nothing I can do about that. Absolutely nothing. But this is such a beautiful set. Now, these don't go for much money, so if you wanted to replace it, you can. I am tempted to replace it, but this is by Warner Brothers. But it is a lovely piece. I'll just try and show you. You've got Dumbledore with Hedwig, Harry, Ron and Hermione. It's a shame I can't kind of get it to kind of move down, but it keeps getting caught on the stars. So there's unfortunately nothing that can be done about it. Now, there have been quite a few snow globes that have been released in previous years, and there were quite a few snow globes released before the films were released. So as you know, this vintage program is about pre-film merchandise. So Warner Brothers obviously are releasing items as well as Hallmark back in 2000. That beautiful snow globe that unfortunately has kind of come apart for me, sadly. Now, what you didn't know, which is a good thing if you're searching on places like eBay, Facebook Market, any kind of market, I don't know, online marketing tool, there's loads, isn't there? There's just, I never, Spock I think is one of them. I never really look at them. I know I should, but I just don't focus on the vintage stuff anymore because I already have so much. Although I am tempted to replace those snow globes. I will show you the other one in a minute. Now, if you are looking for snow globes on eBay, don't forget that they're not just called snow globes. They can be called water globes as well. So I've got here the name snow globe isn't always the correct name. They are also known by water globes. If you look in the Harry Potter Collector's Handbook, you can already see that I've got a load here listed. Now in here, they are known as snow globes and water globes. So make sure that you put those in, because when I'm looking for something specific, that is what I will look in. That is what I will put into eBay. I will put in water globes and snow globes. There is another one as well, but I can't for the life of me remember what it is called. Water ball, I think, could be possibly one of them that I put in all sorts, because if you're looking at other countries, they might not necessarily know that that's what they're called, snow globes, water globes. So maybe they'll call them something else. So that's always a brilliant idea, is naming them something different. And if you're really unsure, what I love to do is I put that search into my Google search and then go to images and see what images it comes up with. So see how close I am to getting that search right. And that is another way of finding items that you're looking for. Now, before I show you the collector's handbook, this one is the one that's leaking. So again, these are not expensive. I think you can get them for about £20. They're not expensive at all. Now, for some bizarre reason, the base inside the globe of this has been expanding since I bought it. Now, I don't think it's anything to do with the window or the heating. There's nothing I can do if it got in the attic, because it was in the attic for quite some time. It was downstairs for quite some time. I think there's just a problem with the stuff they've used to make the base, maybe with a couple of them, but this one is actually leaking. But if you look at the top, Harry's hand is actually broken because he's been expanding up and up and up, going up and up and out, and his hand is actually broken against the glass. But this is another snow globe. And it is very beautiful when it's not broken. It is a very, very beautiful snow globe of Harry flying over Hogwarts to catch a golden snitch there on his Nimbus 2000. It's beautiful, and I just wish it wasn't broken. Now, without covering myself in water, this snow globe is by Enesco. Now, Enesco are still very much working to give us these wonderful Harry Potter products. I actually have a lovely item to show you very soon that they've sent me. I love Enesco products. They also are the company that have done the stunning Harry Potter figurines, the statues where I think you've got Dumbledore holding forks, you've got Lucius Malfoy with Dobby, you have Ron covered with sweet papers all over the floor, you've got Hermione with her books, you've got Harry with Hedwig. It's such a beautiful, beautiful set. McGonagall is one of the figurines, and it is just stunning. I think you can get Hagrid as well. But Enesco do some fantastic, fantastic products. This next item I'm going to show you was the reason why I started collecting in the first place, as in properly collecting. I've showed it to you a few times on my channel, and it's one of my favourite items. But first of all, I want to show you, these are some of the items, again, that were released around the year 2000, 2001. This snow globe, again, available online on eBay for between £20 and £40. The prices are very reasonable for pre-film merchandise. And I've got to be honest, I'm absolutely loving it. But I've got so much stuff, I couldn't possibly go starting to buy loads of stuff. Now, one of the items I've got to show you is one of the items from this book. Now, it says here, water globes. So this is a water globe. Issued in 2000, each shows a scene from the Sorcerer's Stone, average size between 2.5 inches high. And this is chess game with Ron standing beside a knight. So this is the one that it is talking about. Now this is a chess piece. This is a water globe. So I'm not quite sure what the difference is. I don't think you shake this for any glitter or anything. No, maybe you don't. So I'm not quite sure what the difference is between these. But this one is the chess piece one from Sorcerer's Stone. It's very, very pretty, but I have to be honest, not my favourite snow globe out of all of them. However, this is also musical. But I'm not quite sure of the music because obviously this is pre-filmed, so it wouldn't be Hedwig's theme tune. So not only is the Ron with his chess piece in that set, you also have the Devil's Snare holding Harry and Ron, Fluffy guarding the trapdoor, Mirror of Erised with Dumbledore and Harry, Potion Riddle with Hermione, Winged Keys pursued by Harry on his broom. And I know there is more like that on eBay now if you go and look, but these are called water globes, not snow globes, but I would put in both titles just in case. Okay, so now we're getting to the one that made me want to collect in the first place. Now on here, it's under, it says Noble Collection, but it's not Noble Collection. This is by the San Francisco Music Box Company. Hogwarts Express water globe. Harry pushes his trolley at platform 9 3/4 while the train rotates around the base. It's valued here at between $35 and $70. This again is 12 years old. Now I've written very excitedly underneath, brand new inbox, smiley face. I actually found that description in the book and went looking for this item. So it wasn't like I saw this item and then saw it in the book. I read it in the book and then went looking for it because I loved the idea of this snow globe. And I do get very nervous handling the snow globe. I did get it brand new in box. There was a hell of a time getting it to the UK because the person who sold it decided to lie, and unfortunately, but thank goodness for PayPal, they finally got her to send it to me. But this was a long time ago. This must have been about 8-9 years ago. So here we have my beautiful San Francisco look at my mouth. San Francisco Music Box Harry Potter platform 9 3/4 snow globe. This is absolutely beautiful. This is actually dated 2007. But in my eyes, this is pre-film. It's not pre-film, and it's certainly not pre-Philosopher's Stone. But I wasn't going to do a video without showing you the snow globe that I actually fell in love with first. So this plays Hedwig's theme tune, so you know it's after the films just came out. But this is one of my favourite pieces in my collection. There is a bubble at the top, and I am going to talk about this briefly afterwards. The bubble at the top, you've got to be careful of these. Now what I love about this one is you've got Hagrid's hut on the side there. You've got trees and mountains and obviously the beautiful Hogwarts Express, and with the Hogwarts Express going round and then the Hogwarts Castle beautifully displayed on there. But this is a stunning piece, and it was one that took me a long time to find. But these are valued, I think I paid £120 for this boxed. I think they're valued between, I'd say, £140 to £160, possibly more. I think I actually have seen one on eBay for 220, but that could have been buy it now, not auction. Never go for the auction price, the buy it now value, because that's an exaggerated or under exaggerated amount that somebody's asking for an item. You should always go for the auction price, so how much people are willing to pay. And it depends. You can have so many people after the same thing, or only have like one person after something. It just depends on how many people know about it and how many people want it. So a value is something, how much somebody's actually prepared to pay. I've just sold my creature for £655. I did not buy him for that much, but obviously, you know, it was quite a shock 'cause it's what somebody is prepared to pay for him. But that was a big shock to me. Now, what I did want to talk to you about is, now we've obviously, you know, well aware of what's going on here. This is leaking, and I don't know why, but it is leaking. And maybe one day I'll replace it, but at the moment it's just not an option. But be very careful, because if somebody's asking for a lot of money for something, there was some Goblet of Fire snow globes online that somebody was asking, I think it was £230, $230 possibly, or £230, and it was Hermione in her beautiful Yule Ball dress. And I love those snow globes. They are based on the Yule Ball, and they're stunning. I think there's 4 of them in total. I'm not 100% sure. And they are stunning. However, this person was asking for £230 or £240 or dollars, and there was a huge air bubble in the top that you could only see if you looked closely. Now, I'm sorry if that can't be helped, but that can't be helped, but that isn't brand new. There should be no air bubble in it at all. Even though this is broken, there should be no air bubble in them at all. They do get air bubbles, they do, and that's to do with, I think, maybe condensation over time. A lot of it's because they are very old snow globes. But make sure that if somebody is asking for a price of something, that you double check those photographs, because there is problems with snow globes. I mean, I've never done anything with the snow globe, and yet it's now leaking and he is rising, and I just don't know why. We've got this one has got an air bubble in it. It's only very, very small. You can just about see it there. That is probably understandable. That's okay. It's not a huge problem. But this snow globe of Hermione was like down here. There was a massive bubble in the top. This whole area was just clear, was just air. So you've got to be very, very, very careful. So I definitely say be 100% careful of try and avoid buying snow globes from across the sea, because they are ridiculously fragile. And I remember when my main snow globe, my favourite Hogwarts one, was coming over, I was having kittens waiting for this box to arrive. I literally was just, it was like 2 months I think it took. It took ages for this box to arrive. And I felt sick because I was so worried. I just had a snow globe sent to my house from somebody in the UK of another snow globe, another beautiful snow globe with Hogwarts on the top. But she sent it in a tea towel and a brown bag, a paper bag, and of course it smashed on the way here. Of course it smashed. You know, these things happen. She was stupid to send it in there. I got the blame for it, and I'm not even sure how, but I got my money back and everything was fine. But that was what I was worried about, that this wouldn't arrive in one piece, because the glass is incredibly thin. But my God, it did arrive in one piece, and I am really, really pleased it did. So please make sure when you're looking for snow globes, have a look if there's a big air bubble. A small air bubble is okay, especially for an old snow globe. The pre-films, you're looking at 22 years ago. So that's fair enough. But a big air bubble, no, that's not acceptable. And if they're going to sell it, they need to sell it for a decent price, you know, because you can't do anything about that air bubble. You can't put water in it, you know, it's just not possible. So yeah, so that is it. What did you think of my items I had to show you today? Have you got any of the pre-film snow globes that we all love so much? If you want to get these books, they are sometimes available online. This one is more likely to be on eBay or Amazon, and this one does show up on Amazon. So make sure that you check them out. These are my Bibles for vintage collecting. This one is incredibly vintage, and that one is just wicked. So I would highly recommend, if you're into really collecting vintage items, then definitely look at getting those books. They don't go for much. They are especially this one, they go very cheap. So until next time, take care. I love you all, and I'll speak to you very, very soon. Bye-bye. Want to check out more of my content? Take a look at this video right here, or this video right here. Don't forget to like and subscribe.